Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Manchester City 3, Copenhagen 1, and a very, very easy night for Man City. By the way, hit like buttons, subscribe to the Football Terrace. Obviously, I'm not at home this evening. I'm away. I'm in the Midlands. I'm in Birmingham in the UK. It's man like KJ's big day tomorrow. He's getting married. So I'm not at the studio. I'm not at home. I'm here to obviously support him on such a big day. But of course, just watch Man City win with absolute ease, if we're being honest. Copenhagen scored a very good goal. They had a few moments in the game, but the opening 5 to 6 minutes absolutely killed this tie off. And there are some damning statistics when you look at this game. Firstly, City have scored at least 3 goals in every single Champions League game so far this season, group stages and the knockout stages. Erling Haaland scored another goal, okay, which makes him equal with Sergio Aguero. They've scored the same amount of Champions League goals, but Erling Haaland has done it in 42 games less. He's also become the joint top goal scorer in this year's competition, and City just look strong and they look dangerous. Yes, teams, because they press so high, have an opportunity to counter against them, but they're such a potent, such a dangerous, such a deadly football team. None of that can be denied, and you wouldn't put it past this Manchester City team to do another treble. You wouldn't put it past this Manchester City team to do the double treble, as I've already put it. And I hope they get a hard time next. I hope they go out next, because this City team scares the living daylights out of me. They're not at full force. They're not playing in their top gear. I still think there are some vulnerabilities with them. But all that being taken into consideration, they are still the very best team in the world. Lots of young players tonight given their opportunities. A lot of young players given debuts, given minutes, and what a time to do it. What an opportunity and an experience for so many of these young players to go out there. And some of them play with, some of them replace the likes of Rodri and Erling Haaland in front of their home supporters on a night where they're going to qualify for the next stages, on a night where it's going to be that the feel-good factor is going to be there. They're not all going to make it at Manchester City. That would be very unlikely, but great experience nevertheless. They roll on to the last 8. The draw for that is going to be next Friday, and I'm really intrigued to see who they get. I'm really intrigued to see what comes next for this Manchester City team, because they're just so strong. They're just so potent. And I also look at the league coming up this weekend, and the fact that they could rest so many players for this game, the fact they could take so many players off early, isn't good news for Liverpool. Liverpool would have been hoping, Liverpool would have been praying that they had to, maybe they concede first, or they concede a couple of goals, and they've got to bring on some big boys, and they've got to, they've got to do loads. They've got to do loads to essentially, they've got to do loads to keep themselves in this game. They've got to burn a lot of energy, etc., 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 etc. And that just didn't happen. This was an absolute perfect night for Manchester City in every single which way, shape and form. It truly, truly was. Comfortable, barely any energy used, young players getting experience, Haaland equaling and breaking records, Rodri continuing his unbeaten run inside the team as an example. I mean, Akanji, the goal he scored, I mean, just the quality of goals tonight was absolutely impeccable. And I get called out quite a bit for this. I get called out for not calling Manchester City scary, for not saying they're a dangerous team, maybe not for not waxing lyrical enough about them. And if I'm being honest with you, I understand what I'm accused of, essentially. Sorry, I'm just looking for a stat in front of me, and my computer seems to be giving me all crazy nonsense as I'm trying to do it. I understand why I'm accused of that. But I think what people are forgetting, and maybe they're new to the terrace, is all the things you hear me say about Arsenal are things that I was saying about Man City in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. And I suppose to a certain degree, I've just got maybe a little, not bored, But it's been said so many times how good, how dangerous, how deadly they are, that maybe I just don't necessarily think they need to be spoken about like that anymore. But they are all those things. In every single which way, they are all those things without a shadow of a doubt. They're an absolutely dangerous, potent, horrible team to go up against. But what I'm loving about Manchester City this year, and again, this may actually trigger a few City supporters, is there is a little vulnerability. As jealous as I am, as annoyed as I am, as angry as I am at what they do, there's this little vulnerability. Only a small one. A very, very small vulnerability. But it does exist. It is there. And that vulnerability, for me personally, is what makes the Champions League run, what makes the Premier League title race this year so fun, so enjoyable on every single level, is that if they afford Liverpool and Arsenal and Villa and Spurs, some big teams left they have to play, if they do it with Bayern Munich and PSG, Real Madrid, Arsenal in the Champions League, they could be beaten. But they also have the firepower to almost make that a non-concern for them. And this has been a potent and very, very dangerous team for a long, long time now. And this season's just getting even more exciting. Of course, in the other game tonight, 1-1. It finished between Real Madrid and Leipzig. Finished 2-1 on aggregate to Real Madrid. And I actually think it wasn't a game I watched. It wasn't a game I was listening to. I think Leipzig are going to be really frustrated with themselves that they lost 1-0 at home. To get the draw the way they did, obviously they went a goal down, they got back into it. I mean, away goals, that game is a game that needed away goals, I think, because if they would have grabbed the last minute winner on the night, they would have had 2 away goals versus the 1 and would have gone through. And that element of European football has absolutely gone. But Real Madrid find themselves into the next round, as do Manchester City. And of course, we've only seen half of the teams in the last 16 play. But have any of your minds changed about who the favourites are? Genuinely, I want to understand that. I want to know if any of your minds have changed in any way, any shape or any form in relation to who is going to win the Champions League this year. Who your favourite is. Who's got a really good chance, second, third, fourth favourite. Who do you believe has the big name, but you don't believe they've got a chance of winning it? Could there be a dark horse in this year's competition? I want to hear from you. In the comments section below, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you feel. I want to know what's going through your mind right now. But Manchester City, they secure themselves into the next round of the competition. Erling Haaland on the score sheet again. 3 more goals scored by this potent, dangerous, ridiculously scary side in Manchester City, who, for the love of God, I hope it doesn't happen. The jealousy from me is already sky high and through the roof. I don't think it would even be measurable. But a team that is on for the double treble, oh my giddy gosh. Hit the like button. Leave us your comments below. Subscribe. Send your best wishes to KJ, as I mentioned. It's his big day tomorrow. But until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you again soon. Peace.